Good morning, beautiful souls of light. I'm happy to see you guys. So let's begin. Let's begin by allowing our eyes to close and take some centering breaths. Slowly breathing in to the count of 4, holding it, and exhaling to 8. Breathe in, hold it, release to 8. Really take the next breath in and expand that belly all the way out. All the way out. Hold it and slowly let it out. Continue to do that for the next minute on your own, guiding yourself with the intention to take deep breaths, oxygenating your body. It should almost sound like the ocean coming in and coming out. Couple more. Always exhaling through the mouth on this part. Now just continue to breathe slowly in and out through your nose, gently noticing the rise and fall of your belly. And breathing in and breathing out. Just allowing any thoughts to pass by. Just let them float by and return your awareness to your breath. Being kind and gentle with ourselves. Being patient. Gently guiding your mind, your awareness back to your breath. Just normal breathing in and out through your nose slowly. Just like a sleeping baby. When you look at a sleeping baby, they have that peace. The whole body's starting to feel relaxed. Notice the power in the breath. It can calm us down in a matter of minutes. It can calm us down just with a couple breaths. And we can have this anytime we choose to. Put a gentle little smile on your face. And when you're ready, go ahead and allow your eyes to open. Oh, I love seeing your guys' smiles and faces. So today I want to talk about the acceptance of our thoughts. All right. We can filter thoughts into three categories. Thoughts are good, thoughts are bad, or thoughts are neutral. And your mind does this automatically. You don't even need to think about it. You don't need to decide that. Your mind is so powerful and magical that way. If a thought is good, we grasp for it. We want to hold on to it. We cling to it and we keep thinking about it. And then over and over, we think about all the parts of it. And then you lose the now because you're clinging to that moment. And if it's bad, we're pushing it away, we're resisting it. But as you know, what we resist persists. So it's always going to keep coming back to you. You're going to keep seeing it. The more you try to push it out, the stronger it comes back. And then there are thoughts like neutral thoughts, like, well, you're just neutral about them. And it's interesting to be observant of people where some folks think things are bad, other folks think they're good, and then there are some people who just think things are neutral. And the challenge comes when we start judging those thoughts. Well, why does that person think this is bad? And I just think it's neutral. So those are the things that starts the whole mind going. And there's that's down a whole new rabbit hole on why you think something's good, I think it's bad, and somebody else could care less. And so those are some really interesting things that we could also take a look at. So essentially, judgments will influence our behavior. And that's how mindfulness can step in and help us with that cycle. If you remember, John Kabat-Zinn, he was the godfather of what we consider modern mindfulness. And he had this definition that means mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, without judgment. And the without judgment is the piece we're going to take a look at today. So, without judgment, that means letting go of your automatic judgments. Now, you can't stop these judgments, but you can change that relationship you have with them. Your mind does not have to hijack your entire body. And you don't need to be swept away just because this thought arose in your mind. So, we've been practicing sitting quietly in our mindfulness meditation practice, causing peace time. We've been practicing letting those thoughts drift by. If a thought pops up, we notice it and we turn our awareness back to our breath. Okay. When that popped up, we didn't judge it. We didn't say this is good, this is bad, or put a whole story behind it. Why? Because every morning we sit down to do this, you have your intention, whether you're saying it or not. Your intention is, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to follow my breath. So your intention has already been embedded in you. It's always good to voice that. And I'll make a conscious effort to start having us set that intention. But that thought that popped up, we did not give it any attention because it wasn't worth it. Our goal was to follow our breath, which kind of brings me to, like, I'm going to go on a little side trail here, a little soapbox with resolutions. I don't make resolutions because once I don't complete that resolution, I just throw my hands up and then I judge myself and tell myself I'm bad because I didn't follow my diet or I didn't do my exercises on those days. So I set my intention. So intention expands. It expands and it gives you that permission and forgiveness that this is my intention. This is where I want to ultimately end up. And if I fall down, I'm going to get back up. Where resolution is kind of finite, but so I kind of diverged a little bit there. But if we're coming back to the acceptance of thoughts, okay, what I want to do today in the next couple minutes is kind of show you what we're doing in our mindfulness meditation practice can transfer to our real world. Okay. Woo! That's a little scary thought on that. So So we're going to be taking a look at two little aspects: what we're doing in our practice, transferring it over into the real world. So again, acceptance means allowing those thoughts to just come and go in our mind and our meditation without judging them, and not saying they're bad or good, because when we do, we overthink them, and then that little fish story gets to be a big fish tale, right? I'm sure you guys have all been down there. Um, Mindfulness gives us that approach of, it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is. So it's human nature. We talked about this before, where it's human nature. It's the nature of the mind to think. You're never going to stop people from thinking. Even the most intense meditators in Zen Buddhism and all the other meditators, their thoughts still come. All right. Don't believe that they don't have thinking minds. Okay. It's the nature of the mind, and it wanders. It wanders frequently, whether we're trying to focus on something or we're just dazing off in our own little world. Our minds think about things. So it's quite common they're going to pop up regardless. So the key is acknowledge the thought during your working day and just let them float by without getting stuck to them. Don't spend too much time. Just let them be. It is what it is. All right. I'll give you a quick little example. Today I was unloading my 9 million things that we teachers bring into the classroom. And the whole pile just fell over. Okay, as I have now, mind you, I have all this stuff in my hands. Okay, I got all, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm trying to do this and open the door. I don't know if any of you've been there before. And then as I look over to the right, because I'm very proud of myself and not trying to cling to that thought, okay, whoa, yay me, I got in without dropping anything. I looked over and my whole pile of stuff fell over. Now, the previous me, and I did catch myself for just a second. The previous me would have been really beating myself up. Why does this always happen to me? Why can't I do this? Why should you should that? And that is judging myself. Okay, totally judging myself. But through this continual practice that I've done, I've learned, and I used to get really angry at stuff like that. I learned to look over at it. And while there was a moment of frustration, because I was in tune with feeling it in my body, I looked at it and I said, that's interesting. It fell. Okay. Now that has come a long way for me to be able to say that. But just to say, that's interesting, that fell. Okay. Not to put all this other I just observed. I observed what happened. And then I observed the thought that came by, and I didn't attach anything to it. I didn't go, oh, that's bad, or that I didn't even say it was neutral. I just said, interesting. So, a quick example is, remember when we were all in college and we would have a quiz the next day, or we knew there was a quiz coming up. Instead, and the thought comes by, oh my gosh, tomorrow is the test. Okay. Instead of saying, oh, this is a bad thing, I don't know if I'm prepared, I don't know if I'm ready for this, yada, 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 yada. Your mind's just going to go on and on and on. What else can I do? The reality is, it's a thought. And the thought is, there's a test this week. There's a test, and it's all on the stuff that was taught this week. Easier said than done. I get that. But you're going to find so much more peace on not judging your own thoughts, judging other people. And I have one more example. You're in the supermarket, and all of a sudden you see all these kids being unruly, and you start to think, I never did that. Why can't that mother control her unruly kids? They're running around the store like animals. So you can see you're adding all this judgment on that person. All right. And the reality is just the facts. The kids, you can notice it, you can observe it. The kids are running around the store. Okay. We're not put on this earth to be the judge and jury of everybody. So what I encourage you guys to do is to just notice today. Notice today when you are judging. That's enough for now. Just notice. Notice when something happens if you are judging it. That's it. Because when you're ready, we can teach you how to interrupt that pattern. Okay. And so tomorrow we may dive a little deeper into judgments, but for now, just notice when you're judging. Okay. At home, at school, online, all those things. And then just see if you could just let that thought drift by. But if not, just like we do in meditation, see if you could just let it drift by. If something frustrates you, or like this morning, my example, just try not to beat your own self up. And if you do, forgive yourself, because that's part of why we're here on earth is, that's the goal. Just forgive ourselves over and over.